Hey guys, welcome back. We are on the outskirts of Durango, Colorado today. We're starting the 5-day Colorado Singletrack Trip with Western Spirit. So the way it works is that truck there is our support vehicle, and it goes from campsite to campsite taking all the heavy stuff, and we get to ride the Singletrack between it. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is a bucket list trip for me. I've been wanting to do it for a couple years. Really pumped about this. So today we're going to be riding Engineer Mountain, which is around there. We kind of go around it. We don't go all the way to the top, but the views should be pretty killer. So yeah, let's actually go for it. Thanks guys.
Have a good ride. Have a good hike.
Ouch. So yeah, I got my first good derailleur smash out of the way right at the start of the ride. Thankfully, it was just cosmetic damage, and the drivetrain behaved beautifully all throughout the 5 days. And the climbing in this section is so beautiful. You kind of forget that you're climbing. See, the 1100-foot climb isn't that bad. The grade is nice and constant with just a few rocks sprinkled in. Thank you. However, you are starting at around 10,700 feet, so breathing gets pretty heavy pretty quick, especially for those of us that live at sea level. Seems like we're popping out of the tree coverage.
Keep it over by one ahead. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Right. Good job.
Oddly enough, this was our only horse encounter throughout the 5 days of riding. It's nice that we're almost at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely hard work, but it's doable. After the short climb, I knew that the trip was doable. I was definitely feeling the breathing, but the elevation was not particularly hard to deal with. This was a big deal, as most of the trip was going to be in the 9,000 to 12,000 foot range. The peak you see in the background is Engineer Mountain. Despite being a few feet short of being a 13er, it towers over the trail, providing a great spot to take a break before starting to head down. And head down you will. Starting from this point, you get about 2,600 feet of scenic, fast, fun descending over 6 miles. Camera, I think, was out of whack there. Man, this is such a nice descent. Loose. Despite being rated at a single diamond, I'd say this trail is on the easier side of said rating if you start at the intersection with Pass Creek. The grade is quite similar throughout, with just a few sections that jump out as surprises, be it either by steepness or by rockiness. So long as you're reasonable with how you treat blind trails, this one is doable by most high intermediate riders that have the necessary fitness to get to the start. This is so much fun. Gotta work on my switchbacks. I'm slowing down so much on those. Wow, I almost missed the view. And that's probably the most unfair part of this ride. Since both the views and the riding are the highlight, it's hard to know what to focus on. Although, I would personally recommend paying attention to the riding just so that you don't end up hypnotized and flying off the side of the mountain. Modern mountain bikes are unbelievable, but as far as I know, we still don't have any that can fly. Well, I got chunky fast. That was awesome. That's great. It was great that we had gotten a few days in before this at Salida and Durango. If not without some training, my hands would have been falling off at this point. All through the ride, the lead guide would stop a few times just to regroup. Thankfully, it turned out that the whole group was quite well balanced. The front pack usually never waited that much for the rest to catch up. What was interesting was to see how the lead pack was different when we were climbing than when we were descending. It quickly became pretty obvious that everyone had their own specialty, but overall, the balance was pretty good. I absolutely love these open field sections. This is such a great trail, very natural. That's kind of what I like about it. It feels totally ungroomed. Look at that view. Wow. Wow, that is beautiful. I love the wildflowers and all the colors. I don't know if you get to see that, but it's like purple, green, yellow, white. That's a nice little catch berm. I think we're going into the tree line now. Back into the forest. Ah, the aspens. The natural beauty here is just unbelievable. I am enjoying this so much. My God. Are you seeing this? And there goes Ricardo. So yeah, I know, I was totally geeking out and I had to stop for some pictures. In my opinion, it was well worth it. It's one of those things where I knew that if I didn't stop, I was going to regret it later. Boy, am I happy I brought an extra set of brake pads. Man, my arms are starting to pump. Completely missed it. This ended up being an absolutely amazing ride. You know, we were originally going to ride Hermosa Creek, but due to the 416 and Bora fires, that area was closed. The firefighting teams had already done an amazing job and the fire was controlled and nearly out, but the area was still closed for evaluation. While I have no idea how good Hermosa Creek is, Engineer Mountain was amazing. Thank you.
Can you come over here?
Well, that was incredibly amazing. We're actually going to get on the shuttle now, go to our first campsite, and that's the last shuttle for the trip, so we'll see how it goes from here on. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I just had to stop to get some pictures in that open field. It's not a...
I stopped.
I was going to regret it. So this is our campsite, day one. Unbelievable views. The sun is starting to set and it's getting a little bit chilly. It's crazy because when you're out here in the sun, the temperature's good, but as soon as you're in the shade, it drops so quickly. We got a few people who set up their tents around here. So this is close to Little Molass Lake. We're, if I'm not mistaken, at about 11,500 feet of elevation right now, so tonight should be quite chilly. Looking forward to it. I like sleeping in the cold when you have a good sleeping bag. If not, it's horrible. The view from the tent, it's pretty crazy, isn't it? So yeah, there we go. That is night number one, and I'm going to sleep because we have to get up at 5 a.m. I know I'm whispering, it's just I don't want to wake anyone up. Well guys, see you for the next one. Happy riding.